Rather than relying on the Democratic leader, I took the discussion directly to his members. Basic arithmetic now ensures that there are not enough votes to break the rule.
Arizona's Kyrsten Sinema giving Mitch McConnell a reason to crow. She and fellow Democrat Joe Manchin of West Virginia both oppose killing the filibuster. That removes a weapon that Majority Leader Chuck Schumer could use against McConnell to pass legislation in a 50-50 Senate. And suddenly, after spending the first 17 years of her legislative career in the minority, Kyrsten Sinema has a lot of clout in the United States Senate. We're back with Republican strategist Tyler Montague and Democratic staffer Tony Cani. The filibuster, a Senate rule that requires 60 votes, not a simple majority, to move forward with much legislation. Tony, this isn't a new position for Kyrsten Sinema. She's opposed ending the filibuster since being elected. Where would Democrats want her to change her mind? Where would Democrats need her? What kind of legislation?
I think that providing the COVID relief that's necessary is going to be essential both for our country and for the success of the Biden presidency in the short term. And so while a lot of that can be done through budget reconciliation, I think that if there is a moment where there's some challenges to get the number of votes that are needed for some of the provisions that are important, I think that's where she's going to feel the most pressure. But Senator Sinema has been clear about this from the beginning. She's not somebody who folds to political pressure. She does what she thinks is right for the Senate, the state, her constituents. And so I think it's going to be a tough couple of weeks for Democrats dealing with this, but I would be very surprised if Senator Sinema changed her mind.
And Tyler, where do you want to see Kyrsten Sinema put the brakes on?
Well, I think what she's looking at always is what her constituency thinks. She's in a very light red to purple state, and she is not going to be involved in legislation that gets her unelected, all patriotic considerations aside. And so, she's looking at that. And so she wants to put the brakes on legislation that will make her look like an extremist and get her unelected.
And is there an issue where you think she might break with this pledge?
Well, they've already taken it out for some of the big ones, like Supreme Court nominations. Yeah, maybe something in the budget, but they don't have an Obamacare or anything in queue. So I don't see what that would be. I don't think she would break the pledge.
All right. I want to end with this, the story you are both watching right now, the political story. I'll start with you, Tony Cani.
I am really interested in the ramifications for Arizona state legislators who participated in the events of January 6th, the people who've donated to them, whether or not they're asking for refunds. I think that's going to be a big story the next couple of weeks.
Tyler Montague, the story you are watching most closely right now.
No, mine is related. I'm interested to see how this audit goes off and what consequences it has for those people, and how that affects some of the congressional races. I want to see who runs against Biggs.
And the audit meaning the county audit, or the audit the Republican Party is supposed to do, or the Senate audit? Lots of audits out there.
There's a lot of audits out there. It's the county audit that I'm talking about.
And whether people will just kind of clam up after that or keep going?
Well, I think some will, but the hardcore folks will just keep moving the goalposts. Nothing will satisfy them.
All right. Tyler Montague, Tony Cani, thank you so much for joining us.